What it do, baby? It's your boy Baki back with another one. Hope you're doing great. Listen, they released a little teaser for apparently a new Watchmen animated show or motion comic. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. I haven't seen it, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm a huge fan of Watchmen. Not bullshitting you here, man. I got the comic. I've seen the motion comic. I've got the Ultimate Edition. I've seen the HBO show, which is amazing, by the way. If you haven't seen the HBO show, please do yourself a favor and watch the HBO show. So let's just check this out. Let's jump straight into it, and then we'll see and talk about it afterwards.
Someone's picking off costumed heroes.
Okay, hold on.
Someone's picking off costumed heroes. Maybe this was a political killing. No. Somebody knows why.
Rorschach looks cool.
There is good and there is evil. And evil must be punished. I do not do this thing because it is permitted. I do it because I have to.
Chapter 1 and 2. I mean, honestly, this is a great idea because there's never been an animated rendition of Watchmen. There's just the motion comic, which I bought on the Xbox 360 back in the day, if you could believe it. I had that shit on the 360. It was 12 parts. Each part was 30 minutes, so it's like 6 hours long. It was absolutely incredible. It was like one dude who voiced like everybody. No, I think it might have been more than one dude, but it was like two people who voiced like everybody. But it was still a really great way to interpret the Watchmen world without going through the comic book if you're not really into the comic book or anything like that. See, for me, sadly, I was introduced to Watchmen kind of late. So I saw the Zack Snyder movie first, and then I talked to Doug about it, and Doug was like, the movie was okay, but bro, trust me, like the actual Watchmen shit is actually better because Zack kind of over fetishized them a little bit too much, and he made the characters almost seem like they had superpowers, you know, when they really don't really have necessarily superpowers. Like the whole point is Dr. Manhattan is the first like superhero, if you will. He is the dawn of a true fucking superhero. So anyways, the whole thing is that's how I was introduced to it, sadly, was Zack first, then I read the comic, then the motion comic, then Ultimate Edition of Zack Snyder's version, which has the Tales from the Dark Freighter in it, which is absolutely incredible. I still think Zack Snyder's movie is pretty decent, and I think I will say this real quick. The way that he wraps up the ending of that movie works in a way that it ruins the message, but it works in a way to tie up the movie, if that makes sense. So like him having Dr. Manhattan be behind it instead of the alien that's behind it, the quote unquote alien that's behind it, completely changes the thought process of everybody, knowing that Dr. Manhattan is an infinite thing that they've seen in world that's tangible. So that fear will always kind of loom there, if you will. Whereas with the alien, eventually that would wear out. Hence and point why the HBO show is so good, because fucking Adrian fucking Veidt's been doing that shit the whole fucking time. He's been letting go of the fucking worms. Watch the HBO show if you haven't, goddammit. Anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of how I was introduced to Watchmen, and like I said, I've seen pretty much every interpretation of it, and I'm always down for animation from Warner Brothers because they usually pay attention to the small details. It looks like it's that 3D shit though. And I'm not really into that, but whatever.
Maybe this was a political...
That's Daniel Driver.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know why they did it 3D though. It doesn't look that good. It's kind of giving MTV Spider-Man vibes. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna show a clip. MTV Spider-Man. It's like, especially pausing it, it kind of gives off like a weird vibe. Like he don't even like Daniel doesn't really look like Daniel. I guess he does, but I don't know.
Somebody knows why.
Okay, so that's them breaking into the shit to talk to old girl. There's the owl shit. There's Adrian's white spot. That was John? Yeah, see, like, bro, wait a second. Wait a second here. This nigga just looks like an average man, though. He don't even look like... Am I tripping? Hold on. Image? John Osterman. That's right, that's right. I guess he does kind of look like him. He kind of does have that face. That's when his father was telling him about the clocks and shit. See, in the comic, it's so much deeper than it ever was in the movie. That's why it's important to at least, if you ever want to find the motion comic somewhere online, if you ever are like, I want to check out Watchmen, but you don't know how to get a means to the actual comic, or you don't want to buy the comic, or you don't read comics, the motion comic is perfectly fine. They take out like 2 or 3 lines about they take out like some weird lines about like gay or something else. I don't know. Some weird lines they take out, but it's still pretty much the overall story, essentially, and all of the little stories that connect to Watchmen. That's what's so interesting is Watchmen isn't just like one story about these superheroes. It's like there's superheroes going on in this shit. Then there's like the comic book stand guy, or the newspaper salesman guy, and the guy who's always in there reading, Benny, who's reading his comics. And then there's like these 2 lesbians who are like fighting across the street, and like there's just so many elements going on in the Watchmen comic that you didn't really get in the live action, obviously, because there's not enough time. A few of them you did, though. The Benny thing's in there, but it's kind of like whatever how he does it. In the Ultimate version, it works though. So I don't know. I guess he does look like him. It's still giving MTV Spider-Man vibes. So there's Eddie, huh? He looks all right, I guess. You know what it is. You know what it is. Man, I hate to say it. I hate to say these words that are about to come out of my mouth. But I feel like this is some shit that they did because Marvel did the What If. And they're like, people liked how the What If looked, so do it like this. The one thing I'll say about it is at least they don't have dark ass lines like they do in everything that they make animated now. I hate that shit.
There is good and there is evil, and evil must be punished.
He sounds kind of weird. Dang, I paused it at a weird spot right there. I'm sorry. Oh man, the silhouettes, dude. This is still gonna be tight though to see an animation though. Either way, like I don't care how it's done. If it's done exactly like the fucking comic, which it seems to be. I mean, every scene I've seen here is completely like in the fucking comic. So like, if it's done like that, I got no problem. If they change anything though, you can add shit, but if you take away, they're gonna tarnish what is Watchmen. Because when you watch the TV show is just as raunchy as the real content that is Watchmen. That's why I think the TV show is a perfect complement. It might be the best complement to a movie, or not a movie, I'm sorry, but like a medium ever, bro. Like ever. It's that fucking good. It just adds that much more layers to Adrian and everybody, honestly. To everyone involved. And it's very, very like thought-provoking. All of these scenes are from... That's new. I don't know if I remember that one.
Because I have to.
So I'm writing this novel. So it's chapter 1 and chapter 2. The furthest I saw this go was maybe to when they're saving the prison, or they're the prison breakout or whatever the fuck. Oh no, you know what? That could have been the fire. where they rescued everybody. Actually, I don't think this is the prison part.
Not do this then, because
I'm trying to figure exactly where they are. Let's see, or how far they got. Is it just 2 chapters? It looks like that. It might just be 2 chapters. I mean, cause this moment right here, low key looks like the psychic force that fucks everybody up. But I don't know though. I mean, they're not really showing anything towards the end though, but that would be big spoilers anyway. They really can't, because if they show like them interacting with Adrian Veidt, that would spoil it all. So maybe it's just 2 chapters. Probably an hour or 2 a piece. I'm down. I'm down. I'm very interested.
someone's picking off costumed heroes.
Don't really like his voice, but whatever.
Maybe this was a political killing. No. Somebody
Why? I don't like how he sounds.
knows why.
Yeah, it's actually giving Marvel
Good,
what if.
And there is evil, and evil must be punished.
I hate to say it.
I did not do this thing.
There's
because
nothing
it is
wrong with it,
permitted.
but that's kind of
do
what I'm
it
getting with the.
Because I have to.
I personally don't like the 3D animation. Just not a fan, bro. I really enjoyed 2D animation much better. In just my opinion, you know. Never been a fan. When they did that shit in Baki at the beginning of Netflix, I thought it was. I was like, oh god, they're gonna have Baki for a fucking season, and it's gonna get canceled, and that's gonna be it. We're never gonna hear nothing. I thought it was gonna be over. I literally did. I was like, they've cooked it. They've cooked it. But they eventually got away from that shit. Thank the Lord. But yeah, I'm not a fan of it usually. So that's the only thing holding this back. But I'm totally down to see it in animation because, again, Watchmen's never been done in animation. To my knowledge, it's only been done in motion comic, live action, and that's it. You know, so that's going to be it for me on this one. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Appreciate you. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Watch the HBO show if you haven't, goddammit.